A new aircraft is rattling the foundations of military aviation. In the fierce global race for aerial dominance, unverified reports suggest the secret testing of the SR-72, a next-generation fighter rumored to surpass even the fastest retired jets. Boasting advanced capabilities, it promises to render legacy models obsolete. Experts believe that this technological leap may compel China and Russia to speed up their programs. Meanwhile, whispers persist about Darkstar reportedly undergoing tests in Gaza. Will global powers pivot in response to this formidable new force in the skies? Was this aircraft truly tested in Gaza? Join us as we unveil details about the new US SR-72 Darkstar that was secretly tested in Gaza. The news of the SR-72 has sparked immense excitement among aviation enthusiasts, military analysts, and technology experts. Ever since rumors of its development surfaced, people have been eager to see if it can live up to the legendary status of its predecessor, the SR-71 Blackbird. The SR-71 was a marvel of engineering. It could fly at Mach 3.2, outrun missiles, and perform reconnaissance missions with unmatched speed and stealth. It was so fast that no enemy aircraft or weapon could catch it, earning it a reputation as one of the greatest planes ever built. It was one of the fastest aircraft ever built, capable of flying at incredible speeds while gathering intelligence for the United States Air Force. However, in 1998, the Air Force decided to retire it, ending a unique ability to spy on enemy territories from extreme altitudes and high speeds. The SR-71 could outrun enemy missiles and cover vast distances quickly, making it difficult to track or stop. In 2007, rumors began spreading about a new aircraft that could replace the SR-71 Blackbird. Reports suggested that Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works, a highly secretive division known for designing advanced aircraft, was developing a jet called the SR-72. Unlike its predecessor, this new aircraft was rumored to fly at a staggering speed of Mach 6, twice as fast as the SR-71. That means it could travel at an astonishing 4,000 miles per hour, covering considerable distances in minutes. An aircraft this fast would be almost impossible to intercept. Even the most advanced fighter jets and surface-to-air missiles wouldn't catch up. This would make the SR-72 an ideal aircraft for intelligence gathering, surveillance, and precision strikes on enemy targets. Unlike slower drones or stealth fighters, which risk being detected, the SR-72 could fly in, complete its mission, and leave before the enemy knows what happened. Although the SR-71 Blackbird was incredibly fast, it never reached hypersonic speeds. The only piloted aircraft to do so was NASA's X-15, a rocket-powered research plane that still holds speed records. The SR-72 would be one of the first regularly operating hypersonic aircraft. This means it will act as a test platform for future aviation advancements, helping researchers refine aerodynamics, materials, and cockpit technology to withstand extreme speeds and temperatures. This concept is similar to Boom Supersonic XB-1, which is testing new materials and aerodynamics for the next generation of supersonic commercial travel. If successful, the SR-72 could pave the way for hypersonic civilian aircraft. However, there may be environmental challenges to address, as flying at hypersonic speeds can affect the atmosphere in ways scientists are still studying. One of the biggest challenges in building such a fast aircraft is developing an engine that can handle extreme speeds. Regular jet engines work well at lower speeds, but at Mach 6, the air moves so fast that traditional engines can't function properly. That's why engineers are exploring scramjet technology, which uses the aircraft's speed to compress air for combustion, allowing it to fly much faster than regular jets. Since 2006, Lockheed Martin and Aerojet Rocketdyne have been working together to develop a powerful engine for a high-speed aircraft. After the HTV-3X project was canceled in 2008, Aerojet Rocketdyne applied its scramjet technology to the design of the SR-72's engine. The goal was to create a propulsion system that could work at all speeds, from subsonic to hypersonic, reaching Mach 5 and beyond. Different engines perform best at different speeds. Turbojet engines can function from a complete stop and operate well up to Mach 2.2. Ramjets, which compress air to generate thrust, do not work well below Mach 0.5, but they are most efficient at Mach 3 and can reach up to Mach 6. For instance, the SR-71 Blackbird used a system where, at speeds over Mach 2.5, airflow was redirected into the afterburner to help it function like a ramjet. However, even ramjets have limitations, which is where scramjets come in. Unlike ramjets, scramjets, also known as supersonic combustion ramjets, can handle much faster airflows and operate efficiently at hypersonic speeds. This is why the SR-72 is designed with a turbine-based combined cycle system, allowing it to transition from a turbine engine at lower speeds to a scramjet at higher speeds. This setup would allow the aircraft to achieve smooth acceleration without losing power, making it capable of extreme speeds. Both engines would share the same air intake and exhaust nozzle, but would have separate airflow paths within the aircraft to optimize performance. Flying at speeds beyond Mach 5 also presents a major challenge due to aerodynamic heating. The intense friction with the air generates so much heat that conventional metal airframes would melt. Engineers had to look for materials that could withstand these extreme conditions. They explored the use of high-performance composites made from carbon, ceramics, and metal alloys, the same materials used in intercontinental ballistic missiles and the space shuttle. These materials are designed to endure extreme temperatures and stress, making them ideal for a hypersonic aircraft. Lockheed Martin revealed plans for a smaller test version of the plane, measuring 60 feet long, about the same size as an F-22 Raptor. This prototype would be powered by one full-size engine and reach speeds of Mach 6, which is 6 times the speed of sound for a few minutes. The company planned to have it ready for flight tests by 2018, aligning with the high-speed strike weapon program timeline. The full-scale SR-72 was expected to be over 100 feet long, similar in size and range to the famous SR-71 Blackbird. Lockheed intended to introduce the aircraft by 2030 as part of the U.S. Air Force's hypersonic roadmap, which aimed to develop a hypersonic strike weapon by 2020 and a high-speed reconnaissance aircraft by 2030. However, Lockheed officials acknowledged that they had not yet secured funding for the prototype or its engine, despite discussing the project with government officials. On November 13, 2013, General Mark Welsh, the U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff, commented on the future of hypersonic technology. He explained that hypersonic flight could provide a major advantage as it would allow missions to be carried out so quickly that adversaries would have little time to react. He confirmed that the Air Force was actively researching hypersonic technology, but did not yet have the necessary materials to build a full-sized aircraft like the SR-72. He also made it clear that the Air Force had not collaborated with Lockheed Martin on the project. By December 2013, the Air Force chose not to fund the SR-72 program. Instead, they invested in the Northrop Grumman RQ-180, a stealth drone designed for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions. The RQ-180 was considered a more affordable and less complex alternative to the SR-72, making it a better fit for the Air Force's budget at the time. Although the SR-72 did not receive funding, interest in hypersonic aircraft remained strong. Lockheed Martin's vision for a Mach 6 spy plane continues to capture the imagination of aviation enthusiasts and military experts alike. While the project's future is uncertain, advancements in aerospace technology could one day make such an aircraft a reality. As speculation around the SR-72 grows, so does confusion about its identity. Many sources mistakenly refer to the highly secretive project as Darkstar, but that name has never been officially confirmed. In reality, the aircraft has no formal nickname, though one of the most widely used is Son of Blackbird. This unofficial title reflects its connection to the legendary SR-71 Blackbird, a reconnaissance aircraft that set the standard for speed and stealth in its time. Whether the SR-72 ever takes flight or not, its mystique and potential have already cemented its place in aviation history. In the military world, assigning nicknames to aircraft, such as calling the F-15 the Eagle, is a process that combines historical tradition, practical needs, and strict protocols set by either the military or the manufacturer. This process usually takes place once an Air Force formally accepts the aircraft. For the SR-72, no official name exists yet, even though many have already tried to label it with various titles. The development of the SR-72 builds on decades of research, especially the lessons learned from the HTV-2 project. Their advanced development programs created the Hypersonic Technology Vehicle 2 as part of DARPA's Falcon project. The HTV-2 was a rocket-launched, unmanned aircraft designed to gather data on aerodynamics, guidance, navigation, control, and the effects of high-speed flight on the airframe. It took its first flight in April 2010 and a second in August 2011, reaching speeds of up to Mach 20. The data gathered from these test flights have been crucial for designing the SR-72, helping engineers learn how to handle extreme conditions at hypersonic speeds. The HTV-2 was remarkable in that it could travel so fast that it would take less than 11 minutes to fly from New York City to Los Angeles, an incredible feat that continues to influence modern aerospace design. The SR-72 is expected to serve multiple roles, much like its predecessor, the SR-71. According to Air Force technology, the SR-72 will likely be a hypersonic reconnaissance aircraft, using advanced technology for missions similar to those of the SR-71. But its capabilities do not stop there. The SR-72 is also rumored to be capable of hitting targets on any continent within an hour, provided it is armed with hypersonic missiles, such as Lockheed Martin's high-speed strike weapon. The idea is that the aircraft's extreme speed would allow it to breach even the most secure airspaces, making it an essential tool in both intelligence gathering and potential combat scenarios. The United States Air Force's long-term plans for hypersonic technology support the development of the SR-72, and there are even claims that it could be equipped for combat operations if needed. One of the biggest challenges for any hypersonic aircraft is the heat generated by air friction when flying at speeds around Mach 6. This friction causes immense thermal stress on the aircraft's structure. There are two main strategies to deal with this. One option is a cold structure similar to the heat-resistant tiles used on space shuttles. These tiles can protect the surface by keeping the heat away from the aircraft's main body. The second option is to use a warm structure made from materials such as titanium. Each approach has its own advantages and challenges, and researchers are still determining which path will be best for the SR-72. Beyond its heat management, the SR-72 is designed to achieve exceptional speed, stealth, and versatility in various missions. It is expected that the working prototype, if it is not already flying, will include advanced avionics and possibly even artificial intelligence-assisted systems. These new features could allow the aircraft to operate autonomously, something that previous hypersonic experimental platforms like the X-43 and X-51 Waverider did not have. While those earlier projects focused primarily on testing scramjet technology, the SR-72 is thought to be a much more capable and flexible machine, built for a wider range of tasks. However, there are still some challenges on the stealth front. Stealth technology often depends on materials that can absorb radar, but these materials might not hold up well under the extreme temperatures generated by hypersonic flight. In addition, the SR-72's high speed means it would produce a large amount of heat and consequently a noticeable infrared signature. This large heat signature would make it difficult to hide from modern sensors. Moreover, the aircraft might leave behind a wake that could be detected by radar, much like its predecessor, the SR-71. Yet despite these issues, the SR-72's speed is so extraordinary that it could quickly exit an area and evade most conventional missiles. In other words, while the stealth measures might be less effective on paper, the aircraft's ability to outrun threats may compensate for that vulnerability. Fuel is another important consideration for the SR-72. It is possible that, like the SR-71, this new aircraft might run on an exotic fuel such as JP-7. This fuel was specifically created for the SR-71 Blackbird, and it had unique properties like a high flash point, making it less flammable at lower temperatures. These characteristics were essential for the high-speed, high-altitude missions that the SR-71 undertook, as the fuel also served to cool the engines and avionics systems. However, there is speculation that Lockheed might explore the use of more conventional fuels for the SR-72 to simplify logistics and reduce operating costs, while still meeting the high performance required for hypersonic flight. The development timeline for the SR-72 is also a hot topic. Reports have hinted that significant progress has been made, with ground tests of the hypersonic engine reportedly starting as early as 2013. In 2017, Lockheed Martin stated that the new engine was ready for real-world use, raising hopes that a single-engine prototype might begin flying in the early 2020s, perhaps as soon as 2025. The ultimate goal is to have a twin-engine version in operational service by 2030. This ambitious schedule is pushing the boundaries of current aerospace technology, and flight testing is expected to ramp up in the mid-20s as the project transitions from concept to a fully operational aircraft. This rapid progress in development not only brings the SR-72 closer to reality, but also highlights its potential beyond just testing advanced technology. Beyond technology testing, the SR-72's extreme speed makes it a powerful surveillance tool. Covering over 60 miles in just 1 minute, it could gather intelligence with advanced cameras, radar, and sensors faster than any existing aircraft. In the past, the U.S. relied on the SR-71 for high-speed reconnaissance, but after its retirement in the 1990s, slower drones, predictable satellites, and the U-2 spy plane became the main tools for aerial surveillance. As global tensions rise, speed is once again a critical advantage. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union developed the MiG-31 Foxhound to counter the SR-71. This high-speed interceptor has since been modified to carry hypersonic missiles, making it a formidable threat. The SR-72 could take the concept further by not only outrunning threats, but also delivering precision strikes with hypersonic weapons. High-speed missiles give enemies little time to react, making them difficult to defend against. Russia's Ka-47 M2 Kinzhal hypersonic missile, launched from a MiG-31, has already been used in combat, though Ukraine has managed to intercept some using US-made Patriot missile systems. If equipped with GPS-guided bombs or hypersonic missiles, the SR-72 could strike targets from greater distances and higher altitudes. Some experts suggest a bomber version could replace the aging B-1B Lancer, working alongside the B-21 Raider and B-52 Stratofortress. Whether as a spy plane, a weapons platform, or a hypersonic test bed, the SR-72 is shaping the future of military aviation. If successful, it could even bring hypersonic travel to commercial aviation, making the world faster than ever before. The SR-72 would redefine military strategy and make the U.S. an even stronger global power. A fleet of these hypersonic aircraft, too fast to intercept and equipped with precision weapons, would serve as an intimidating deterrent. No country would want to risk provoking such a force, especially considering how the SR-71 was sometimes used to fly over hostile territories at supersonic speeds as a show of power. If the SR-72 is armed with hypersonic missiles, its potential as a strategic weapon becomes even greater. In some ways, the SR-72 could provide a similar deterrent effect as aircraft carrier battle groups, but at a fraction of the cost. Aircraft carriers are massive floating air bases that require thousands of skilled personnel, expensive warships for protection, and vast amounts of fuel. They are essential for projecting power across the globe, as seen in their deployment to the Middle East after October 7, 2023, to counter threats and protect shipping routes. However, a fleet of hypersonic SR-72s could serve a similar role, providing rapid response capabilities and long-range strike potential without the logistical burden of maintaining carrier groups. Beyond military applications, the SR-72's speed opens up exciting possibilities for civilian use. If a plane can carry bombs, it can also carry passengers or cargo. This idea has historical roots. Military aircraft have often been adapted for commercial use, such as the Tupolev Tu-114, which was derived from the Tu-95 bomber, or the Boeing 307 Stratoliner, based on the B-17 Flying Fortress. Similarly, the SR-72's technology could inspire the development of hypersonic transport aircraft. Imagine a version of the SR-72 designed for rapid cargo delivery. In a medical crisis, a hypersonic aircraft could transport life-saving vaccines or treatments to an outbreak zone before a virus spreads uncontrollably. Such a capability could prevent a global pandemic, avoiding economic turmoil and mass casualties. The potential for hypersonic travel extends to commercial aviation as well. If successful, the SR-72 could accelerate the push for high-speed passenger flights, much like Boom's supersonic XB-1 is testing new supersonic technology for future commercial jets. The SR-72 is still in development, but its impact could be revolutionary. Whether as a military deterrent, a precision strike weapon, or a test bed for hypersonic travel, it represents a major leap in aviation. If this technology is perfected, it could change how wars are fought and how people and goods move worldwide. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.